Index notation with algebra is what we're going to look at in this video. So it's split into 8 parts. We're going to start off by looking at index notation. What is it? And then we're going to look at writing it in full, and then looking at how do you find the value of something like this, and then moving on to multiplication with indices, then division, and then looking at fractions, and then with brackets, and then finally looking at something a little bit trickier like this. So the way my video is, I'm going to do the example on the left, which is I do. You are then going to press pause. I've got an example on the right, which is you do. And the type of the example is at the bottom. So we've been asked to write the following using index notation. So the way we write this in index notation is y cubed. And all we're saying is there's 3 lots of y's multiplied together. So hopefully you've pressed pause and had a go at this. So on this side, it'll be e squared. So this time around, we've been asked to write in full form. So in full form, this will become e times e times e times e. Okay, that number there just tells us how many times we're going to multiply e together. And again, hopefully you've pressed pause and had a go here. That's 5 lots then. So press pause and have a go at these questions. Here are the answers, mark your work. Moving on. Now, anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, that's just a golden rule you need to remember. Even 5 to the power of 0 is 1. Any number to the power of 0 is 1. So here it says find the value of e to the power of 0. That's going to be 1. And again, exact same thing, yeah? Anything to the power of 0 is going to be 1. Now, moving on. Here we're multiplying indices together. Now, when you multiply indices together, you just add the number. So the answer is going to be, in index notation, 7 to the power of 3 plus 4. So we are just adding this and this. So the final answer then becomes n to the power of 7. Okay? When you multiply indices, you just add them together. So again, hopefully you press pause and have the graph example on the right. So that is just going to be p to the power of 3 plus 5, which becomes p to the power of 8. So here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers for your work. Moving on, we're now looking at division. So this is just the opposite. So when you're dividing indices, you just subtract them. So it becomes w 5 minus 2, and then w cubed. Okay, so again, hopefully you press pause and have to go at this. Now, one thing worth noting with this is when the power is not there, it's the same as to the power of 1. So essentially, we are doing u to the power of 8 minus 1, which becomes u to the power of 7. Now, when it's in a fraction form, you can still think of it in the exact same way as this, okay? You're still subtracting. So the answer here is n to the power of 6 minus 2, which becomes n to the power of 4. And again, same thing on this side. That just becomes q to the power of 6 minus 3. And the final answer is q to the power of 3. Now here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers for your work. Now moving on to looking at brackets. Now with brackets, all you're doing is multiplying these two together. So that just becomes q to the power of 2 times 4. So the answer is q to the power of 8. And the way you can think of this is just writing q squared 4 times. And if you wrote q squared 4 times, you can just see if I added all of these together, that's 2, 2, 2, 2. That gives me 8, okay? So the quick way of doing it is just multiplying the powers together. So again, if I just multiply the powers together, so the answer here is w 3 times 2, which is w to the power of 6. So here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers for your work. Now moving on, this might look a little bit tricky, but we're going to do this in 2 steps, okay? First, we're going to do the top. So at the top, we're just multiplying. When we multiply, we add indices. So that's going to be 5 plus 2 over q to the power of 3. So that becomes q to the power of 7 divided by q to the power of 3. Now when you're dividing, you just subtract them. So finally, bringing this down, that just becomes q to the power of 7 minus 3. And the final answer is just q to the power of 4. Okay, so hopefully you press pause and had a go at this. Now there is a 1 there. So this becomes, the top becomes m to the power of 5 plus 1 over m to the power of 3, which becomes n to the power of 6 over m to the power of 3. And now because this is just a fraction, we're just going to subtract the 2. So 6 minus 3, and that becomes cubed as our final answer. So moving on, now we've got to tidy the top and the bottom up. So the top will become c to the power of 9. The bottom will become c to the power of 7. Now I'm just going to subtract the 2, so that'll be 9 minus 7. So the final answer is c squared. Again, hopefully press pause and had a go at this. So that's the power of 1. So that's e to the power of 5 at the top, e to the power of 3 at the bottom, because you're doing 3 plus 0, which is 3. And this then becomes e to the power of 5 minus 3, which then becomes e squared. And here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers for your work. Now, if you would like some more practice on this, I've got a full worksheet linked down in the comments below. And if you found this video useful, I've got loads of other content like this over on my channel. Do check it out.